Hello guys, welcome in APV GATE IES PSU lecture series. In this particular lecture series we are going to discuss the questions that are conceptual, and by using that you are able to solve the questions related to the GATE, ESC and PSU. Okay, so first subject we are to study, that is thermodynamics. In that thermodynamics, first chapter is zeroth law. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's discuss what is zeroth law. Okay, so if the system A is in thermal equilibrium with system C and system B is thermal equilibrium with system C, but there is no any contact between A and B, but they are thermally equilibrium with each other. Okay, so here we can say that if the systems are isolated, if temperature A is equal to temperature C and temperature B is equal to temperature C, then we can say that temperature A is equal to temperature B. Okay, so this is the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Statements and the mathematical equations are exactly the same. Okay, I am going to discuss here only the some basic concepts and the questions. Other than theoretical parts that you want to study, then you can study from the books. Okay, so let's discuss the what is the use of zeroth law of thermodynamics. Zeroth law helps in temperature measurement and also defining the temperature. Okay, so temperature scales we can define here. We can take it as one property. Here we are taking it as a pressure and one is temperature. On x axis it is temperature, on y axis it is any property, that is here it is as a pressure. So the relation between the temperature and any property, that is T is equal to A plus Bp, we are taking it as a linear. So if we know any properties linearly related with the temperature, so by using that we can able to calculate the temperature. This is the use of zeroth law of thermodynamics. Okay, so now if we have to compare the two scales, relate the two scales by doing the linear interpolation. Okay, so formula for this is T minus Ti upon Ts minus Ti of first scale is equal to T minus Ti upon Ts minus Ti of the second scale. So let's discuss what is T, Ts and Ti. T is the any required temperature. Okay, Ti is the ice point, Ts is the steam point. Okay, so to understand this in very well manner, let's discuss one question. Okay, find the relation between degree Celsius and degree Faraday. Okay, so we have to define the relation between degree Celsius and degree Faraday. So here some data is given. On degree Celsius scale, the steam point is 100 degrees Celsius and ice point is 0 degree Celsius, and on degree Faraday scales, steam point is 212 degree Faraday and ice point is 32 degrees Faraday. Okay, so by using the formula what we have, so C minus 0 upon 100 minus 0, because the ice point is 0, okay, and steam point is 100, and we have to find the relation between C. So what we have put it as a C, and here is the F. So ice point is 32 and steam point is 212. By using this we can able to calculate the relation between degree Faraday and degree Celsius. This relation we already know, but how we can compare the two scales, for that purpose we have discussed this question. Okay, so now discuss one more question, so you will be more familiar with that formula. Okay, so a new temperature scale in degrees X is to be defined. The boiling and freezing on this scale are 500x and 150x respectively. A temperature of 60 degrees Celsius correspond to what? Okay, one scale is given that we have named as X, and another scale that we know, that is degree Celsius scales. If there is a temperature of 60 degrees Celsius on one scale, that on degree Celsius scale, what will be the value on a new scale, that we have to find. Okay, so to find this we have to use the linear interpolation that we know. Okay, the temperature on a new scale is X degrees. Okay, the boiling point, that is steam point, is given 500 degrees Celsius, and freezing point Ts, that is 150 degrees Celsius. Okay, so let's compare the two scales. on a new scale, that is x minus Ti upon Ts minus Ti, and on an old scale degree Celsius minus Ti upon Ts minus Ti. So, value of x we have to find out. The value of ice point on a new scale is given, steam point is given, that we have put it the values. On degree Celsius scales, that we know the value already, 60, that is given, and 0 degree Celsius is the ice point and degree Celsius is the steam point. By using, we are able to calculate the value of x. So, that means if 60 degrees Celsius is mentioned on a Celsius scales, on a new scale the value would be, for that 60 degrees Celsius on a Celsius scale, it will be 360. So, by using this we can understand the what is the, how we can calculate, able to calculate the temperature or any value on a new scale for particular temperature. Okay. So, now let us discuss some basic concepts related to the thermodynamics, and we are able to solve the questions that are in future the questions will become that we are able to solve by using these concepts. So, here we are only discussing the concepts and some basic questions or conceptual questions. By using that, you are able to solve the GATE questions. In the GATE exam, it is not necessary to study all the theoretical parts and all the things, but you should be good in concepts, so you can be able to solve the questions very easily. But theoretical part you can I know that you can do in very well manner from any resources available. I will be given some study material related to this, that will be after few days I will be sharing with you. Okay. So, now discuss some basic concepts so that you are able to solve the questions. First is open system, closed system and isolate system. So, let us discuss what is open system. Open system means where mass is going to transfer and also energy is going to transfer. Okay. So, to see this, to understand this, let us take one example. If there is one tea cup is there, in that one tea is present, and from that tea some vapors are coming out. So, we can say that there is a mass transfer is taking place. After some time, 5 or 10 minutes, the temperature of the tea is going to down. So, we can say that the energy is also going to transfer. Okay. And again in the closed system, let us discuss that if we have put one plate on that cup, so we can say that there will be no mass transfer, but the energy is going to transfer. Okay. This is the example of closed system. If we know that we have thermos bottle, okay, in that we are putting the water, and the temperature of that water is almost constant, okay, and the mass is not going to transfer. So, we can say that the thermos bottle is a isolated system. So, I think you are understood. Okay. Let us discuss another concept, that is Gibbs phase rule. Okay. So, Gibbs phase rule, Gibbs has given the one wonderful relation. So, by using that we are able to calculate the how many properties are required to define the state of any system. Okay. So, here P plus F is equal to C plus 2. So, P means number of phase, that is solid, liquid or gas. C is the number of chemical components. If we know that if there is a water and water vapor, so we can say that only H2O is the chemical component, and if we are taking the mixture of O2 and N2 gas, then chemical components are 2, and then N is equal to number of compositional variables, okay, that is pressure and temperature. Here we are taking it as a 2, but in the material science we will take it as a 1. So, that we will discuss in the later phase. Okay. Do not bother about it. Okay. So, now discuss the what is degree of freedom, number of characteristics to define the state of system. Okay. So, to define the state of any system, how many characteristics we should know, so we can define that state in very well manner or understand the physics behind that. Okay. So, then to understand this, we are going to solve one question related to this. Okay. Find the number of degrees of freedom for water and water vapor mixture. Okay. So, we have water and water vapor mixture, and we have to find the degrees of freedom for water and water mixture. We know that the Gibbs phase rule relation, that we know. Okay. Here for phases, we know that liquid and vapor two phases are available. So, the value of P is equal to 2. Then components, we know that for water vapor and water we have one chemical formula, that is H2O. So, the component is equal to 1. Okay. And so, what we have to find out? What is degree of freedom? Okay. Degree of freedom we have to find out. 2 is the constant value. So, we can say that degree of freedom is equal to 1. Okay. So, I think you have understood. Then next discuss closed system analysis. Okay. So, to solve the questions or upcoming topics, to understand the upcoming topics, we need to understand what is the closed system analysis. Closed system is also called as fixed mass system. Okay. So, here we are showing we are having one piston cylinder arrangement. Okay. So, position of piston is given, that is 1 2. The firstly the piston is in compressed form. Okay. Now, here from state 1 to state 2 the piston is going to travel. Okay. In the PV diagram we are showing the two state, that is state 1 and state 2. State 1 is the initial state and state 2 is the final state. The piston is not moving from 1 to 2. Okay. So, here the expansion of the gas will be takes place. As the gas is going to expand, okay, so volume is going to increase and pressure is going to decrease. So, here we can show in the diagram, here volume is will be low and pressure is high, but in this state volume is high and pressure is low. So, by using that you can understand what is going to happen in this process. Okay. So, now discuss the some mathematical analysis behind this. Okay. So, we know that the work done is equal to force into displacement. Okay. So, that we know. Okay. So, for small change in work done, we can say that there will be a small displacement. Okay. And force is equal to pressure into area, and we know that A into dx is equal to change in volume. So, the small work done for process is equal to the, here is shown small work done. Okay. So, for small work done P is equal to work done is equal to P into dV. Okay. If we integrate that small work done, then we will get a total work done, integration of P dV. Okay. So, we can say that work done is the area under PV diagram. This is most important statement to solve the upcoming questions. Okay. And lot many questions are asked in the GATE examination related to this statement. Okay. Not on this statement, but whatever the analysis you have discussed, on that basis you are able to solve the questions. Okay. Here from state 1 to state 2, whatever the area is covered, that area is the total work done. Okay. So, I think you understood. Now, let us discuss one another question to study the property. Okay. If any equations or any differential equation and we have taken it here their integration, then we can get the property, but for that we have put one particular condition. If that satisfies, then only that equation will be the property, otherwise not. So, let us discuss one question. Which of the following can be considered as a property? We have given the 4 options. So, we have to choose what will be the property. Okay. If any given differential equation is exact, the differential equation, then it will be a property. We know that in mathematics we have studied the exact differential equation and inexact differential equations. If the given equation is following the condition that del m by del y is equal to del n by del x, that means if you have any given phi is any function is given m dx plus n dy for exact, del m by del y is equal to del n by del x, that means that equation is exact. If it is exact differential equation, then it will be a property. This is the most important statement. Okay, by using this statement we are able to solve this question. Okay, then next let's discuss option number A. Here phi is equal to PdV is given. Okay, value of m is equal to P, n is equal to 0. So from this we can conclude that del m by del P is not equal to del m by del V. Again, question option number B, phi is equal to VdP, that n is equal to V, m is equal to 0, and del m by del P is not equal to del n by del V. Then this is not the property, this is not the property. Okay, phi is equal to del T by del T plus PdV is equal, and then we can say that value of n is equal to 1 by T, value of n is equal to P by V. So here we know that dt is given, dv is given, only two variables we have, so the entire equation must be in the two variable form. Okay, so here what is p is given. Okay, so we have to convert that into t and v form, so we are able to solve the question in very easy manner. Okay, so we know that equation, ideal equation, pv is equal to RT. Okay, if number of for 1 kg of mass, we can say that PV is equal to RT. Here we are getting the value of P is equal to what we are get, R by RT by V. Okay, so by putting the value of this we can get RT by V square. So here we are solving del m by del V is equal to 0 is coming, and del n by del r is equal to r by v square is coming. Okay, so del m by del n is equal to, is not, del m by del v is not equal to del n by del t. So we can say that option C is not also the property, but by eliminating the option we can say that, directly say that option D is the our property. But let's verify it is property or not. Okay, so phi is equal to del t by t minus v dp by p, m is equal to 1 by t, n is equal to minus p by v by p. Okay, so by put v here, what is the variables, dt and dp. Okay, so we have to change the v, so we can by using the ideal equation, what we will get, minus rt by pt, that is r by p. So after taking the differentiation, del m by del p is equal to 0, del n by del t is equal to 0. Okay, so we can say that as both the derivatives are 0 or same, it is not a 0 only. Okay, these are the same. Okay, so that's why they are the exact differential equation. Okay, so option D is the property. That is our answer.